How are you doing?
The situation is tough.
Yeah.
You probably see the news. So we are not okay. We are not calm. We're thinking about leaving Kyiv at the moment. Probably we should move to closer to Poland later. So we still monitor the news. So it's not calm at all. It's not.
We've been reading about people trying to leave the cities. And in fact, when I looked at the map to this morning, I noticed the cities where all of your events previously were. I was recognizing that pattern.
Yes, because in public speeches of Putin, he spoke about Eastern region. Yes, this operation, military operation, but in general, in reality, so we have explosions and operations all over Ukraine, from north, from south, and some rocket shoots. I'm not okay with military missiles, yes, with vocabulary, and they claim to be oriented only to military, but it isn't safe at all. So civil victims already, not mass, yes, but it is absolutely not okay. So we'll see. Ukrainian army and support, so they are doing fantastic jobs, efforts I cannot even imagine. So they do much. We'll see what.
Do you have a curfew right now? Do you have to stay inside?
Yes.
After 10 p.m.
They just announced, so an hour ago or something. So probably we will not move this night. So it's 7 p.m. here now. So this night we will spend here. We'll see. It's unbelievable. We still cannot believe it happens.
It's even from afar. Yesterday, it seemed like there were talks progressing, and then all of a sudden, the newspaper headlines just changed. And I think it was shocking, obviously more so for you, but just in general, I don't think people expected this to escalate as fast as it did.
Absolutely, because this last even 5 years, even during COVID, with all this situation overall is tough for maker fairs, for all communities, but it is still a great city full of business, full of investments, startups, movements, whatever. So it is not some small town, it is big.
Tell us more about that for those who don't know. Cities like Kyiv have a long history. I was always moved by your work around Maker Faire in Kyiv and other places, also talking about building maker spaces. I recall, Yuri, you talked about having a maker space that you had to make mobile because it kept getting involved in fighting in war. Just tell us a bit about what and where you live and what you value and want to protect about it.
Okay, personally, I understand that there will be a next step after invasion in 2014. So the idea was to show communities another way to gather, to communicate, to talk to each other, to learn from each other, to make projects together. This idea led to our situation in 2015, 2016 perfectly, because we show to communities this format you gave us, and this was a kind of celebration in communities in all 5 cities and at all 15 fairs we produce. So now these people communicate each other, helps our army, helps to recover communities. So idea of building community and of producing Maker Faire was to spread the trust inside the communities. We used this format of fair to find these people who care and invite them. And now these people who care helps community, cities, and military. I had a huge network of people who call us or write us or drop messages to ask for help to fix something or to connect to people they need. And all this contact I have just as one of producers of Maker Faire.
I probably may add, so if I'm right, Dale, you were asking about background, overall situation. So Ukraine is on the border, yes, of this Western democratic and Eastern, all we have on our north border, northeast border. And we still have this huge trace of Soviet culture, yes, with very low trust, low initiative, low ideas rate. So we still have it because our parents were grown here. At the same time, we are very hungry for ideas, startups, new forms of education, especially because schools and teachers, they are still old school, yes, because it cannot be changed in an instant. And Ukrainians are very interested in new, fresh movements, especially, and again, we are a technical nation. A lot of technical universities, so a lot of people have really strong math, some physics. So there is, here you can meet this tradition. And a lot of factories, they, unfortunately, yes, they were lost during Soviet time, but people, they still have this knowledge, how to fabricate, how to do something. And we were about to lose it. And so that's what we were looking for in Maker Faire, in Makers movements, why we were so inspired when we first met, saw the Make magazine. And after we saw the event, and it was like, wow, it's just what we need.
Yeah. And you did some great work. Those networks are valuable to build that Yuri was talking about. What are you hearing from people, your friends and others in the country since the invasion?
Keep calm, help army, give me a drone or help me fix something. We need a fuel, please help. Or we hear a lot of resistance, and we're happy we are in such a huge community, and a lot of people stays here, don't move abroad or to other country. And we clearly understand that with all the help from Canada, from US, from UK, we have to fight by ourselves. We understand that there's no one who will fight for our country. So I am happy to live and to talk to people, to have such a huge network of people who will resist, and now they are.
So I was just looking at the map and seeing in some of the areas, we've talked about this over the last couple of years, how difficult it's been to find, funding for the fairs, even as the economy was improving and there was more investment. How have you felt connected in other networks and other kinds of businesses that are support arms for the Maker Fairs?
The idea of Maker Faire, it's not work just light. We spend a lot of time to make people understand what does it mean and what it's for. Yeah. And now, this time, about a month ago, I get 2 or 3 inquiries from companies who asked about Maker Faire and asked if we plan something and offer their support for future events.
That's great.
So this idea or this concept, it was growing slow, but now people recall all the fairs, especially from people who attended events. Now they understand that we need such a community. We need it for multi-layer purpose. We need it just deeply. Yeah.
Yes, and I must say, so we were not the only one ambassadors of Maker movement in Ukraine, yes, but probably Maker Faire brand helped us to get used to this word maker, because I speak Ukrainian, but we still call them makers. So it's now a common word. When we started in 2015, so nobody understood it. Everyone would like to correct us. So why you use this English word? So we have some alternatives, some synonyms. So why don't you use Ukrainian? Now there is no such questions. Everyone understands it. Yeah. And we do have some great maker spaces in Ukraine, some community centers, and I believe so together, so they participated in Maker Fairs. We had some interaction with them. We had the chance to cooperate in between projects. So not only at maker fairs. So at the moment, their voice is strong. So people know it is cool to be a maker. Yes, it is. It is. I actually have a job beyond some makers activities. So I work in IT company, and I know that programmers, developers, software developers, they love this maker culture. A lot of people really want to have it as not just as a hobby, but as philosophy.
Right.
And at the moment, I think so people understand the values. They understand how great to have this opportunity to make something.
And to talk to people who also want to change something, who care, who curious.
And you talked about that Soviet culture versus kind of a new culture of people taking the initiative and learning on their own and working cooperatively with other people. In the present, what can you guys do? It's a hard question.
We want to move kids and Svitlana to Lviv. This city is near to Poland. And then there's a plan. I want to come back here. So we decided to bring family to safe space.
Yeah.
So right now we are packing our luggage, packed already packed. We're scrolling media to find some news. We try to connect, to use our network to close these calls from people we know who support volunteers, funds, support army, as I mentioned before. And I got a lot of questions from producers community, from Kevin, from China, from Karim, from Rafael, also from Sabrina, of course, from Louis, all over the world.
Maker Fair, Prague, Budapest.
Oh, good.
It is so great to hear from them.
Yeah, that's great. And they tell us, they pray for us and ask if they can do something. So we spread the information, bank accounts of our volunteers funds, and also direct multi-currency account in National Bank of Ukraine for supporting Ukrainian army. So we try to use our network or our help of community we built all these years.
Please share any information you have about how people can help.
Obviously, the situation is very in flux. It's changing all the time. Is there any change to the ability to get information for people, or you're still able to access any information anywhere? There's not any restriction of news.
At the moment, it's okay, but it is the strangest day today. So it is that we just to schedule our talk to this day, because we are checking from one my eye. I'm checking, but at the moment we are okay. We have internet, we have cellular. So we can check all websites.
I think we've heard that this would be a hybrid war where they begin attacking the internet infrastructure.
Exactly. You said people have a lot of technical skills and they're used in many different ways. I think that is a real worry in these kinds of conflicts moving forward, is that the game has changed.
Yeah, absolutely. So they call it 8 years, they call it hybrid war, because a lot of information attacks. Sometimes we have hackers attacks to banking system or media or something. So yes, we should be very attentive.
In the beginning, democratic world lost this fight in information field because of fake news, because of state-backed media from Russia and all of these things. And now, Jennifer, the situation is different. People sharing information only from trusted sources. Not all people, but we more ready than 8 years before. And from the early morning to tonight, maybe. First of all, first sentence from all our friends and state media was keep calm. Please don't panic. If you want to move from city, use these roads, and please be kind to each other in this very moment. And a lot of this. So now it's, I think, as for me personal, it was expected that this next step from Russia. And this is why we try to convince people that there is different nation, and we call Ukrainians, because before 2014 and even for now, people from all over the world thinks that we all Russians. And this was a kind of, this pushes our north neighbor to invade and attack again and again, because the world thinks that the whole world thought that we are Russians. And with this separation and differentiation now, it's easy for democratic world to translate the messages that we are a different country. We need support. We will fight for our independence. We will resist, and we are not Russians. And this is different story. And we are gate to Europe. And all these things together, we see it now just today, February 24th.
I just want to express our own hopes for you and your family and your friends and the makers throughout Ukraine. If there are things we can do to support you, please let us know and we'll get the word out. You're safe and that you're able to withstand what's going on and bounce back eventually.
You guys built this amazing network and it's important.
Thank you so much. It is extremely important for us.
Please reach out if there's any reason.
Definitely.
I think people really want to hear from you and know how you're doing. And so please stay in touch. We really care that you're safe and that you get through this okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Jennifer.
you.
Thank you, Dale.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.